students whatever ideas they have, things that can solve practical problems. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to always work, but if you can show that this is a good enough attempt, most times you'll be able to get grants to actually just play around with like whatever idea you have. Then again, we've got like strong legal and financial infrastructure. So we've got like strong legal systems and a robust financial system. So moving on. Then the second thing is the ease of doing business as a migrant. So the thing is, as a student, the first thing that comes to mind is there is a restriction, right? So like you see, you're allowed to work 20 hours, and obviously during holiday you're able to work more. But let's just assume that. So there are a couple of visa options for immigrants and entrepreneurs. So one of which is the settled visa. So I don't know the settled visa, immigration visa. Then any of those. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go through. I think it's on the slide. Okay, no, it's here, but I'll go through it just a bit, just give like. So for the settled visa, so this is designed for early stage, high potential entrepreneurs who are starting a new business in the UK. So obviously, to eligible applicants must have a business idea that is innovative, viable, and scalable. The duration is about 2 years. For the innovative visa, it's aimed at more experienced entrepreneurs, people that have at least 50K to invest in their businesses. This visa is valid for 3 years. Then there's the TN1 visa, which is for high net worth individuals looking to invest in the UK economy. So there are these various ones. There's also like business support networks. There's like the Enterprise Nation, there's Tech Nation, there's Business Gateway. So these various things are, as I was saying, so like the government also have put in place like business support networks where you can get access to scholarship. If you connect to this like Enterprise Nation or Tech Nation, it's a government-backed organization that's, so for example, like the Tech Nation is one of the endorsing bodies for the Global Tech Visa. So one of the things that you need to, like, I guess I would advise to do is search out about these various things, see how you can already start to join the ones that you're allowed to join, and then start to look ahead about how you can. So they organize like mentorship webinars that you can learn from. So I'll say obviously what you don't know, you can't like what you don't know creates like a barrier between where you are and where you could be. So seek out knowledge. Obviously, you might not be able to like get access to everything, but from where you are, there are a lot of things that you can do. There's also the brain's trust. So like, I've got here a list of these various things, the eligibility, what they are, the benefits and all of that. So I can always make the slide available. And also one thing that you would also see is people have also done it in time past. We're not the first to actually try to be successful as immigrants in the UK. So there are several examples of people. There's Sophia Adelman, there's James Khan of West Dragons Den. So it's possible, it's been done before. And I guess it's been strategic and then applying wisdom. So a lot of times, the things you cannot do, if you can build relationships with people that can help you do them, that can be mutually beneficial. So I guess as Africans, one of the things we have that mindset of trying to do everything ourselves. We all want to be sole traders, we all want to be business owners and CEOs. But most times that is not the best option. Asians, for example, on the other hand, they have that mentality that whenever they come, there's like a structure in place that's been on ground for many years. Where someone comes, becomes like an apprentice for a couple of years, and then he owns his own shop. Many of the guys that you see around on the high streets that have their own shop, what happens is that one uncle invites his nephew to come over, stays in his house for a couple of months, working for him, and then eventually there's an agreement, he can own his own business, and he can send his kids to school. But Africans, we are everyone for himself, we don't synergize. So I guess one of the things that we can start doing is, how can we synergize? You might have I'm into fashion and you might be into fashion. Why not, instead of like splitting our focus, what can we do to come together to, So really like, in a way, we're already kind of disadvantaged as immigrants if we're being truthful. So you're then splitting focus, splitting resources, making it twice as hard for you to make progress in the system. So one of the things that you can do is, how can you partner with people? Another thing, I'm just going to start roll things out, is that there are already also networks that we have. Many of us will come from like Nigeria, we're here now. So we've got like a huge network. And in the past 2-3 years, at least being conservative, 300k migrants come into the UK. So that's a whole market. So what you can start to think about is what service can you offer to those that come? And it's all about solving problems. Tech is not tech is just about increasing productivity. Tech is not necessarily code. It's not always sometimes when we hear about tech, we think code, we think dark rooms, large screens, Python, Java. But it's just what can we do to people? Everyone has a need. Yeah. And so, for example, as people are advancing in life, people might be too busy to cook, might be too busy to, I don't know, take care of your house. If we can, I think sometimes the problem is perspective. We are not seeing there's opportunities everywhere. So even in my where I stay, one of my neighbors, he's also Asian. He does laundry from home, and he makes a lot of money. So basically, my next door neighbor, and he just comes, picks up the clothes, and it doesn't cost. The charges like compared to like the proper standard, I would put to him, and also the cost is reasonable enough that you could literally even go every couple of weeks to use it, but he's earning from that. So we are spend time to think, what can we do? What problems can we solve around us? University campus is such a beautiful place. Our uni urban guy, he wants to cut hair. He wants to like cut people's hair. So on the side, he decided it's £5. And not just fair. When he started, he did not even know. He just had an interest. Which is uni. People don't really care at uni. So it was like, it was cheap, £5. Come like for £5. Guys went, and that's how he learned. And he made so much money. He paid his rent. He bought a house from it. But sadly, he dropped out of me and then focused on it. I don't know if he made the right choice, but well, that's true. Like, it was earning enough from me that I could leave uni. He was like, this uni thing is long. I'm making good money here. And now he's left. He has his own barber shop, and he learns on the job. Like, he became really good. So I'm saying, like, on campus, there's clear opportunities. If you can cook, people that have time to people that can cook or don't have time to cook, you can. That's a business, and that's not getting charged to HMRC. So there's limitation. So obviously, you need to be strategic. Like, what can you do that's not you're not stepping over the line of the barriers of the law for you to still earn a living. So I think we need to do that. So we see here that we see as a student there's restriction on employment. Self-employment is not permitted. There's also like limited engagement in entrepreneurial activities. But still, like I said, you can partner with people, and that can be very key. Because I'm thinking about when I was in uni, there was someone I knew that was trying to start like a real estate business. Just someone I just met, and like I was friends with him. Because I was quite passionate, and obviously I couldn't like do it really with him. But now he's gone ahead and it's like really done like good in it, and there are opportunities for me. So if I ever want to now, I don't know, chase a career there, I can kind of let that door is open just because obviously I showed interest. Even I couldn't do it now, there's someone I know that's doing it. Build that relationship, and that's an open job that I can tap into in the future if needs be. And so there's also like, post graduation, there's the graduate visa, post work visa. So for you up to 2 years, you can, the government allows you to explore that. So if you have ideas, we see you're going to graduate sometimes when if you're studying, you've got 2 years, and there's no restriction. You can be self-employed. A lot of people, we're all chasing out the mentality. We Africans is we're always seeking employment, as opposed to the Jews. Wherever they go to places, they don't seek to be employed. They seek to start businesses. So it's also like a mentality that needs to change. Because if your mind is that I've got a need, what can I do to get the money? What can I solve? What value can I produce rather to then exchange for money to then solve the problem? That would then help you see solutions to the problems around. But if all we know is job, would always be, and then we're doing one job, we then get a second job again on top of it. Then I used to think, because thinking is also hard work. But we're too job focused. So so even I personally as well, I prize flexibility. So like I would not. So basically, current job I do, grants me a lot of flexibility, right? I could seek out other employment opportunities that will pay me more, but I would not because it's going to reduce my flexibility. And for me, that is so much. I can, in the long run, in the next 5 years, if I work on what I'm working on the side, it would more than compensate for me working 9 to 5 or working 9 to 9. Some people do. But if that's your passion, it does your effort for, please, by all means, don't. I'm not hindering. So, like I said, there's a startup visa, there's an innovator visa. Like I said, while being a student, university sponsors incubators and competitions, so you can actually earn money. You can win money. There's a guy currently in my local church. He does assignments with people and he gets paid for it. I don't know if that's legal or not.
Yeah, I don't think that's common.
Wait, thank you.
It's like, so maybe not. He doesn't do.
Maybe it puts them like provides.
So that's why I mean, obviously you can't go and sit.
Yeah.
He puts them through.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what he said. I'm not endorsing legal, but I'm just saying he does that. Many other things he does as well. Like, I think it's more putting people through because you can't do because the assignments are very bespoke that you can't replicate it. You just copy and paste. It's actually projects that you have to build for people, so you can
mentor them.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that competitions around in universities. Pay attention to them, and also like don't just be so innovation in your own department. Look elsewhere. If you're like in life sciences, for example, there'll be things obviously in that one, but you can always look at business and management. They always have like really like broad things. So always start into that. Attend events as well. So I'm going to go then to so I kind of ignore the slides like this, but I'm going to go then to the various types of businesses that you can do in the UK. So the sole trader, which we know is simple to set up and run. So this is owned and operated by one person. You have complete control, which I'm assuming it was like. It's simple to set up, but the disadvantage is that it's unlimited liability. If it goes bust, it's all on your head. And also there's limited growth potential because you are the one doing the work. Like you cannot if you don't work, you don't get paid. So obviously, what it depends on. So it's good, but it's only good for certain types of businesses. There's also the partnership, which is similar to sole trader, but this involves so more people, and then responsibilities are shared. Profits are also shared. And here it could be, some people might just be you bring skills to like a particular skill set to the partnership. Somebody else might just be money that you provide. So if you've got an idea, that like I said, like I keep saying is that people out there that are literally they have money and they want to spend their money on something that's good. So if you don't have money, but if you can have ideas, there are people out there that the investors, they're like literally looking for whom to commit their money to. Because it's not, they have money that is just depreciating, but if they can find good ideas, they will pour money into it. There's also limited company, so there's partnership. Like I said, there are specific things about these various things that you can delve into more. I'm going to just pause with that, but there are things you can, if you go online, you can see all of this in the next slides.
Okay.
It's available. There's also like limited company, which is like a separate legal entity from its owners, which offers protection from personal liability. So like I said, this is separate from people who run it, and so you've got directors who run, and you've got shareholders who own it. So for this one, you have to register the company house, and you have to file annual accounts, and then you've got the advantages and disadvantages of a limited company. You also got like a limited liability partnership, which combines the professional flexibility of a traditional partnership with the benefits of limited liability. So most of law practices, consultancies, accountancies usually use this model. So as I'm having, if you study like accounting, for example, law, you can have your own practice. Yeah, you can like set up something, or you could form like many of the big conglomerates that we know, PwC, all of these things. They said from people just coming together to form a partnership, and 50 years down the line, it's this multinational company. So people still do it. Friends still start. Like you can still just common interests, different skill sets, come together, start something, and who knows where. And also, if not for anything, what you would learn in the process of trying to run a company is invaluable. work sometimes is a very safe. Someone says that lifestyle that get rich so fast. Which is showing for the safety, for the safety and for the security that you get. Obviously, if you go into like entrepreneurship, the greater risk, greater reward. And the benefits can always start at the same time. And then when one takes off and does really well, you can then weigh your options. And then grants available to entrepreneurs. So there are various grants. So like I said, in the UK is one of them. It's one of the key ones. So like the government has seven departments or 7 bodies, and each one of them focuses on a particular. So there's one for like social sciences, there's BBRC, there's EPFSRC, so one for engineering and physical sciences, there's one for biological, and so like literally every department, if you will, has like a body that's been commissioned to provide grants to businesses, and also like there's a big push for academics and businesses to partner. So the government is also trying to get businesses and those in academia to partner to then also produce something. So there are smart grants. So they provide funding for innovation projects, tech manufacturing, sustainability, startup loans, also local authority grants as well. So check whatever borough you're in, check and sign up to the directorate's email list, because, for example, in my own borough, I would have shown you. So every week or every 2 weeks or every month, I can't remember now, they send out like a list of grant opportunities for like funny things that you would never think. Like people want to fund. Sometimes even charities, they want to fund anything. I kid you not. Like, and they're actually seeking for ideas. So let me just see if I can find one of the. Just give an example. I'll just read out a few. Let me see if I can find. Sorry.
Or if you give me the details, I can search it out. Is it possible?
I think so. I'm signed. I'm signed up to the newsletter. So let me see if I can.
I think for Suffolk, it's the Suffolk County Council.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can, like, whoever, like, just if I can find, mine is new one, so I'm just going to see if I can just read maybe the latest one, just to give like it's like community newsletter from. So for example, so there's so I've started, this is like a long list of that they've sent out. One is wanting to explore changing beliefs about the UK economy. You can submit an application and you get one. There's one Imperial Community Impact Fund. You can find out about it. There's application invited to the second round of NSG funds. So my barber, so he cuts hair. Funny thing, like also sometimes if you don't know, you don't know. He cuts hair, like he cuts my hair. So one of the times that I'd gone there and was just discussing with me, and what he'd done is I think he went to reach out to the mayor, and he just thought about, oh, you know what, I can train young people, like young black youths that are probably just going to waste their summer. And he found a couple of them, maybe 3-4 of them. And every year he put together like a business plan, submitted it to the mayor, he got funding for it. And for the past couple of years, he's like gotten funding, and now it's now picture with the mayor. It's like recognized and celebrated in the community. So believe me, whatever idea you have, if you can like show how it's valuable to the community, you can secure funding for it. So like don't limit yourself. Like search out opportunities, like sign up to your local council. This thing. So there's like another one like funding for hospice UK membership to improve care. Even some you see for even like the greens, like planting trees. They're willing to fund it. So idea is key. If you have an idea, there's money out there. The government they want to like wherever there's a problem and you can like provide a solution to it. You can get money for it. Okay, so like this is Suffolk. Yeah, it's like just if you search, just sign up. There's always like a place where you can sign up. See money for. Yeah, just register for it. And if you have like like also sometimes even there's also benefits of charitable organizations as well. Because I run it's a mixture, like a CIC, which is like a charity and a business. But mine is like religious focused. But even at that, there are many opportunities that are open that if you can present like a business case, you'll be able to get like funding for. Yeah. So also like sector specific sciences And also just pay attention to what the government, the pain of the government, if you can provide solutions to it, like for example, this whole clean energy, or just really trying to like have a circular economy. If you can provide solutions or ideas about how the government can actualize that, you can tap into it. And then there's also sponsorship schemes for female entrepreneurs and minority-owned business grants as well. That you can sign up to those things and you can benefit from. Okay. So.
We have like 15 minutes.
16.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So then obviously the key thing to also note is the regulations on taxes. So obviously it's very key that you comply with the UK government regulation on taxes for any business you're doing, because one, it can have reputational impacts, and also like could you also have impact on your documents as well, and we don't want that. So there's corporation tax, which is levied on the profits of limited companies. So like whatever business structure you choose, you decide to use, make sure you also check the requirements and regulations attached to it, and see if you can comply, if you can keep up with the requirements, because they will come searching for you if you don't. So make sure that wherever you do the taxes, you don't play around with the thresholds, the rates. Make sure that you're very much aware of each and every one of those things. If you employ people, you've got like the what's it called, the what's like the base thing called? Sorry? Employment tax. And also you have to pay people the what's it called now? Minimum wage as well. So you don't, there's national insurance, there's health and safety regulations. So if you run a business that provides, I don't know, food for people, there are few licenses that you can get that don't cost too much. Make sure you get those things. Just also you have your back covered. If anything goes wrong, you don't then get the stick of the law. Obviously, employment laws, contracts, employment, if and when things get to that point. So it's not things that I'll skip them, because obviously it might not necessarily apply to us immediately. So like I said, licenses and permits, GDPR compliance, if you're dealing with people's data, getting the things, just the data that you need, contracts and agreements, and also like I guess this is key. So like I did say that try and seek out network with people, relationships, things that you can do if you've got an idea and there's someone that maybe has the money, or at the same time don't just do everything in good faith. Also apply wisdom. If you need to like sign contracts, agreements, have something written down, make sure that that's also done, so that you don't just work for someone else. So I'm going to then spend the last couple of minutes on then, like I said, the mindsets to business in the UK, which is sometimes the main thing. Methods are not difficult to come by. If you go online, you can easily research taxes, regulations, that's not difficult. I think the greater problem is the mindset. So this is like, look at the lens through which we see things. So how can you have the right mindset? Cultivating the right mindset is equally as important as just understanding the methods. We've gone through the various business types. That is good, but the method. So the first thing is you need to embrace resilience and adaptability. So it's not going to be easy, that's the truth. There will be a lot of setbacks as you then begin to explore various ideas, various things to do. But if you have a mindset on that this is a can-do attitude, you would break through. It might just take a couple of years, a couple of failed attempts, but you would get good at trying to like solve problems. And also you have a mind that's able to identify and see needs where others are complaining that this is this, you'll be able to start a solution where others see a problem. Also then to adapt to the new market. So obviously the UK is quite different from wherever country we're coming from. Is that what you might think, what might be a need, say Nigeria or Africa might not be, I feel like the trivial point here. So don't try and solve, sometimes we focus much on our passions. If your passion does not provide monetary value, it's a hobby. Just do it in your free time. So like, I think like, if possible, monetize your passion, because that way you can do it, and I don't care if you get paid. But if your passion is just, I don't know, just let it be a hobby. And also commit to continuous learning. You can learn anything. I believe anyone can break into any industry if if you have the right starting point. Just like a ladder. Obviously, the height looks unreachable, but if you have a rung low enough, you'll be able to start. So don't box yourself into the hole. I don't know, I stay out in law, or so I have to stay in law. If you're looking ahead and you're seeing that the industry that you're currently in is not going to work out in the long term, it's wise to pivot. Because the same way like when internet came in at the turn of the century, a lot of industries got wiped out. So also you need to look ahead. What I'm doing today, is this going to be viable in 10 years' time? Is it Kodaks?
Yeah, Kodaks. Yeah.
Yes. They didn't adapt quickly enough, got wiped out.
Okay.
Yeah. You could even Zoom wasn't like the most known one. There was one before Zoom that was popular. There was Skype.
Yeah, Skype. Yeah.
It was Skype. So like a lot of things like we realize like even if you speak to someone, the industry I'm in, obviously I have invested 10 years, 20 years, but if in the next 5 years the industry is going, really just have to rethink and retrain. Yeah. As an entrepreneur, if you've already seen that this particular skill will be in great need in a couple of years, you can learn it now. The evening you have, don't get a second job. As tempting as it is, obviously you're gonna have to take a hit on you'll be able to earn money, but that will take a hit. But if you learn the skills in 5 years and where you'll be or where you'll be positioned to be will be rewarded paths. So like I said, learn from others, network, don't stay in your own bubble. Push yourself, like go to those places where you don't feel comfortable. Go to those rooms where you truly feel like you're not meant to be there. If you're always going to rooms where you feel like you're meant to be, you're not growing. So like literally go to like industry events where everyone like you're like, what am I doing here? That's how you stretch yourself. If you go long enough, you start to feel you meet someone that you speak to someone that, and then you start to like you grow into that level. There's a friend when I was at uni first year, this my extended real estate friend. He literally would dress up to go to a bank. Like we had no money, all we had was ideas. We literally book appointments with banks in like central London and go to work suit, the one suit that we had. We were there like speak to them like, oh, we want to like start rent to rent, like decide ideas, what could we do? And some of them will give us money with some of them actually give us like what's it called? Attention. And today, like I said, he's gone on and he's doing really well. Like he's fairly known in the real estate industry in the UK, and like is a really good sourcer. So if you can dream it, you can do it. But also don't just pursue things that are not like pursue things that can actually yield value as well. Like I said, like cultivate local partnerships. So I'm sure that in your local area, so there will be these little groups that meet and discuss these things. But I think a lot of them were not aware because we're so either insular, so focused on the 1, 2, 3 things that we spend our time on. But they're actually like groups that probably meet once a week to discuss just business. Just entrepreneurs that meet to just discuss opportunities. So please plug into those things. Like I said, I mentioned Enterprise Nation. There's a Federation of Small Businesses. Also, like use of social capital. We've got a lot of strengths. Most of us are probably bilingual. There are a lot of people that grew up in the UK. They are trying to learn their native language. That's a business opportunity. Like people that watch that. There's someone that's going online just paying weekly to learn Yoruba. You can teach for like a whatever language. So like, but like I said, if you don't open up, so like don't be ashamed. Don't also like put away shame. If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you're gonna make it. Shame and it doesn't work together. You can't be self-aware. You need to just be pretty much shameless. Like don't be afraid to like what's the worst that will happen? No does not. They don't right know your body. Someone said once, someone wants. So what? Someone is waiting. If you try long enough, you would. Someone was speaking to. There was a guy that was sharing. I'm trying to round up. It's like someone that was sharing. Was it last week? I was speaking to him. He said that at the start, he had this idea to teach handwriting to primary schools. This is not in the UK though, but I think it's a useful example nonetheless. To teach handwriting to schools, and we dress up. He was jobless. We dress up, go to school, be like, oh, I've got this great idea to teach your kids, your people how to like write well, and to kick him out. He kept doing it day in, day out, and eventually he found a school that was willing to like. They were saying, oh, actually, the parents have been complaining that the kids' handwriting wasn't good, and it like opportunity made preparation, and he got employed. And since then, he's had like several other, and now he's also like he has like a fashion thing on the side as well. So if you see a need for what it won't be the first time you go, you get an opportunity, probably not. But if you persist long enough, you would have a breakthrough. Then, so a couple of other things is just maintain a customer-centric focus. I think I'll end on this. I think I've exhausted my time. That maintain a customer-centric focus. So always look at things from the perspective of the user, not from you. Because if you're always thinking about the need of the person, you will think about how best to improve the service. So like I said, don't focus on you created something nice. If it doesn't solve a problem, it's just a fancy thing, and it's of no use. So whatever you do, think about from the lens of what good does this thing, what problem, like I said, productivity again. How does this make? Does it save? Productivity is not time saving. Does this make? Is it cheaper? Do people save money? Are they using less energy, less resource on a particular thing? If you think about things from that lens, that what can I do, or what might helping this person do? Am I helping them save time, making their life easier? You find your brain will start to think about ways to solve with like business ideas. So just to then sum up that doing business in the UK is not impossible. It's not as hard as we think. There's a lot of money out there. The government is looking, seeking, crying out. They have one that they want to give to people. But the problem is, it's the who, not the how necessarily. And most of them we focus so much on the how. The how is easy. I can give you my notes. You have the how there. But becoming the who takes time. A lot of mindset wiring, a lot of networking, seeing things differently. And that one thing you're passionate about, that one idea you have, if you can switch it up enough, if you can like attach value to it, it can really open up a world of possibilities to you. So the UK is a good place to do business. That is the summary of the business.
Just
and this section does great justice to it. So we will have like a quick 5 minutes hearing from us experiences. Particularly, I know this room is rich with people who run businesses here and in some other countries. So after which we go into a panel session. So if you have questions or experiences you'd like to share, have the next 10 minutes to do this.
Well, regarding the funding opportunities, so yes, I am signed up as well, but as students, you are highly restricted. So yeah, that's there, it's available, and a lot of people come with that intuition that when I come, once I get my, particularly from Nigeria, once I arrive in the UK, I settle down, I'll start a business. So it's very difficult to switch from a student visa to that kind of visa. So you have to finish your program as a student and then move. So then there's that one as well. And also, most people tend to believe that, okay, once I come, I apply, I'll get it. It's the competition is stiff. Yeah, as much as it's Suffolk, it's small, you don't think it's very steep. Then you're disadvantaged, you're a person of color, we cannot talk without talking about that. There's that, and then there's this, are you good enough thing? The imposter syndrome, personally, in yourself. So I think it's always good to put it out there and let people know the opportunities are there, but you also have certain things to clarify because then your visa could be at stake as well. So yeah, that's all I
Yeah, that's good. I think as people, a lot of times, a really good idea would sell and make it and like survive and push up. A lot of times the truth is, we might think an idea is really good, but if you've not, maybe because this is why you've heard of those ideas, you would then realize that maybe you're not as, it will challenge you. So I'm saying this because we said I was at a particular place, like maybe I was at an academic 2 weeks ago, and I actually had a lot of people, I thought obviously I got things, I had ideas, I had things I was working on, but being in that room, I found out that people have actually spent more hours than I've spent. People like actually invested a lot more in finding out or like really digging deep to find ideas that can really be transformational. So I'm not saying those are important, that I did say that for students, barriers, there's a lot of barriers. But I'm just challenging us that if you press in deep enough, yeah, excellence is excellence. It speaks above creed, race. I'm just saying that those barriers are there and they're strong and tough. But I'm also just saying that it's possible. Even with the restrictions, even with the challenges, it's possible to still make progress despite the challenge. But if we just resign our fate to, it's like we've got restrictions, if we do not try, and I know people that have been able to still find ways to still make progress despite the same restrictions that apply to everyone. I'm saying it's just that we need to have that hunger and that mindset that, listen, I will find a way, however it takes. And if you have that mentality that, you know what, it's doable and I will not give up until I find a way, you'll find a way.
Here, like scenario like I just heard, straight away I've got a solution.
Yeah.
And the solution is connecting someone who's bridgeable. So if you have a business idea, there's someone in your university, someone in your workplace that is bridgeable and someone you might get along with, and you can put a contract together with that person, which then allows you to have a business without interrupting your visas and stuff like that. There's ways of you being a partner, silent partner, or just being a general partner. And you can check on your visa, it might say that you can't do business, and if it says you can't do business, then what you do is be a silent partner until your visa changes and your status changes. So that's a way of getting around your barriers. There's always a barrier breaker, but it doesn't mean that you're going to knock the wall down. You might have to walk around the wall. So that's what I would interject into that situation. I've been in the business game for a while. I actually decided to do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I will be looking to start back up a business in the sense of more the mentoring and networking and connecting us back as people in business. So I know that London will have its grants, however I know the UK has its grants. So my thing is, because I've been out of the game, yes I can go on Google and search it, but personally that timescale I may not have. This is where I believe the connection of people and their skills will help reduce the time. So for instance, you're in finances and economics, then I know that I can just call up you and say, listen, what is there available? Or you might say there's this idea, like you said, planting trees. For me to get young people to go and plant a few trees in a certain area, I just need to maybe go to local schools and stuff like that and then get that funding. But I think it's just a good starting place to maybe solve their problem first and then apply for your personal funding. So like for that area, I would definitely like to know how to navigate and get that information again.
I think just
sure.
Just 0.3 billion scheme for innovative businesses, and obviously was high pressured. The barrier was really low, and those that knew and told like the second one literally. So obviously, I'm currently like evaluating the fund. And one of the businesses that got the fund are ridiculous. Like you would not believe it. Like when the government got into problems because one of them got like he got into the news that this was the fund. So it's like this is the name of the company that got the fund, and it was you could come up with a better idea than that. Obviously, because if you don't know that there was that opportunity available, you could not benefit from it. So like you said, I think that whole thing about even within the Black community, there are people that are placed that have at least access to like some information that can be beneficial to someone else. So having those avenues where we can discuss and people with different, and that's why I do because like for example like in my local churches, there are people that studied, they're lawyers in training, but they're trained enough to advise me about my charity legal system. Like my charity person that runs the accounting, she's like a trainee accountant, but she doesn't, she's good enough to do it. So leveraging on what you have available can, and I don't pay those guys anything because I've recently got that relationship with them. So I do agree like network and it's can pay dividends.